Hello everyone. Now today's topic is IIR filter structure and we will discuss today direct form 2. Now as we have discussed in direct form 1, we are actually now what we are doing, we are designing the filter. Now we are in the third stage of designing the filter and we are going to prepare how will the filter look like if we made it with a hardware in implementation. Then how many number of adder will be there, how many number of multiplier or the memory amount of memory, that will depend on the structure we are actually making the filter. Okay, or if you want to make it by virtue of software technique, then what will be the logic behind it, that we are getting the output in the what way we are getting the output, what will be our logical design. So upon these all depends on the structure. Okay, so what type of structure the filter is having, that's we were discussing. As per our curriculum, we are going to discuss direct form 1. We have discussed direct form 1. Now we are coming to direct form 2, and we are also going to discuss cascaded and parallel. Now this is nothing but the general structure of the general transfer function of a IIR filter. We know it is having poles as well as zeros. Now in the direct form 1, what we have done, but we have just separated the poles and zeros. First we have taken the zeros of the system and then we took the poles of the system. But here we are just going to do it in a reverse fashion. That is, first we are going to take this part. That means this part will be the pole part. So the first part, H1Z in this structure, is going to give us the poles. Okay, so that means if I draw the system, the total system, IIR system, so I am dividing into two parts. One is H1Z, where we are having all the poles, and the input to the system is XZ. So if we think of the intermediate part, the intermediate part is linking between H1Z, which is all poles, and H2Z, which is nothing but the all zeros of the system. Okay, so they are all zeros. So intermediate part I am taking it as UZ now. Clear? Now at the end of the thing we are getting the YZ, because basically this is the total system. This is the IIR transfer function. So now in direct form 1, we have just done it in the reverse fashion. We are doing it in first pole and then zero. So try to reduce it. What we are getting, let us have a look. So we are writing the first part, that means the pole part, in this two fashion, in this using U and Z and U and X, and this is the part of the equation that we are writing. Now if I derive this, what we are going to get? So we can write this in this form, and if I solve this, we can get this out of this. Now if I want to get the difference equation from this, what I can get? I have to use inverse Z transform, and will get UN here. UN will be Xn minus A1 U n minus 1 minus A2 U n minus 2 minus dot 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 up to an u of n minus capital N. So this will be the difference equation I am getting. Clear? So if I want to draw the structure of it, it will be look like as follows. So let's draw the structure of this part, that means the whole part. So what we are getting, that here the output is un and the input is xn. So I am taking this as input xn. So xn is coming here. Now this part is added with the output. This part is added with the delayed version of the output. So if I am having un here as my output, and if this is my xn, so un I have to put a z operator here, that means it is a delay element, and here what I am getting, if it is un, I am getting here un minus 1. Yeah, so this is my un minus 1, and at this here the minus a1 is multiplied with it, and now it is added to xn. Okay, so here I am putting a adder. Here also I am putting a adder. Now if you think that after again another delay, we are getting un minus 2, and if I multiply these with minus of a2, I can add it off with this part, and there will be the third part. So there will be a adder here for the next part, and here this part will come to this adder. In this way we are going to get the value of un, because un is basically xn plus these up to the value of the delay. We have to take it, the number of z element we are taking here as the value of n. Okay, so it is depending upon the number of summation. So this will be the structure of the first part. Now what is about the second part, that means all zero part. Now in similar fashion I have written the all zero part. So if I simplify, it is becoming like this. Okay, and if I go for inverse Z transform, I will get the difference equation where I will get the final output value yn, and this output value will be b0 into un plus b1. There is an inverse sign, so there will be u of n minus 1, that means there is a delay. In this way we are going to get the values up to m number of elements, where the delay will be u of n minus m. So this will be the output equation. Now if I go for this structure, this output equation seems like, that means the u part is coming here un, and the y part is actually additive with the un, along with there will be a b0 coefficient. Now it is actually added with the second, that means the delay part, or that. So if it is un, if I put a z element here, and if I multiply it with b1, I will get the next element. Similarly, I can then get the next element if I put another delay element, and if I add it up with this part. So in this way I have to add it up. How many delay elements I need? No, I need up to n minus m. So I need 1 to m number of delay elements depending upon the number of summation. So in this way we are going to get the second part. Now if we join these two structures, what we are going to get, just look, just have a look. Now if we add it up, we are going to get this type of structure. Now one thing you must notice, that in the direct form 1 also we got these two summers. These two summers were here and here, there was xn and there was yn. But what was happening at that time, we are getting the inputs, the delay elements here and the delay elements here. and they are adding up in this way. That means the delay elements are in the two sides when we are going for direct form 1. Now, in direct form 2, as we have just reversed the system poles and zeros, we are getting that in both of the cases the delay elements are coming in between. So here is an advantage that we can replace these two delay elements with single value of delay element. Okay, and therefore from the direct form 1 we are getting a lesser number of delay element in direct form 2. So this is the advantage of this direct form 2, that we are getting the cost effectiveness in the direct form 2 is more, because as the delay elements are coming in between, that's why we can replace them with a single column, and that's why the number of delay elements is becoming reduced. Okay, so this was the structure of IIR filter direct form 2. We are going to discuss in the parallel and the cascade form realization of IIR filter in consecutive lecture.